Hello Stampers! I've got a little housewarming card for you today. This is a fairly simple project, and I kept it simple just because I thought it'd be nice to have a little quick project today. So we're going to start with a 3.5 inch basic white panel. You can get all the dimensions for this card down below this video. Just click show more and you'll see all the dimensions there, along with the links to the products that I use that'll take you directly to my online store. So on this 3.5 inch square panel, we're going to go ahead and put our background in. We're going to use blending brushes, and I'm going to start with So Saffron ink. And this is going to be the sky, and this will be the grass. It's just easier to work this way. So I'm just going to go back and forth with this So Saffron ink. I just love these blending brushes. It takes no time at all to put in a sky. So there's our So Saffron. Next we'll go to Pumpkin Pie. I'm going to do that same back and forth motion and just add a little to the top of this card. You can get a little darker at the top using a circular motion. There we go. And there's your variegated sky. So next we're going to do our ground. And this is going to be with Old Olive and a blending brush. We're going to do that back and forth motion here. We're going to come up and meet that So Saffron ink. You can get as dark or as pale as you want with this. I like to get a little darker with this color because we're going to put some flowers in. We're going to put some flowers in at the bottom, and I'm going to use a white gel pen there, and it's nice to have a dark color behind that because then they'll really pop. Okay, ground, sky, there we have that. And now we're going to start stamping our images. And we're going to go ahead and stamp our house first. And I'm going to stamp the house in real red. I thought real red would be a nice color that will just pop. So I'm going to put it up here towards the top of the cardstock a bit. Give a nice stamping. For the roof, I'm going to use Memento Tuxedo Black. It's so nice that the roof and the house are separate in this set, so you don't have any coloring to do. So I'm just going to line them up and stamp away here. There we go. There's the roof and the house in. Then I'm going to draw a little road. I have a dark smoky slate marker here, and I'm going to use the brush end of it. And I'm going to draw a line from this side of the door out. So I'm going to come down a little bit. Just going to make a line across the cardstock. This is a thick line, so I'm using the side of this brush, and then I'm going to bring the sidewalk down to that line that I put, and there is our walkway road. So we have that in, and then I'm going to stamp our sentiment along that. And I decided to use Just For You. And I'm going to line the word you up on this sidewalk here. There we go. So there is our sentiment. And now we just need some flowers at the bottom. See how fast this card is coming together? This scene is just super simple. So I'm using this little flower here. It's just a stem and it has 2 little flowers on it. And that is also in that stamp set. All these images come from that Ringed with Nature stamp set. Here it is. Has so many images in it, but we're using the house, we're using this flower, and then I used the Just For You sentiment. And that's a new set that's in the new July, December mini catalog. I call it the holiday catalog. So I'm just going to stagger these flowers a bit, make them different heights, just so they look a little more natural. You can overlap some of them. Make some of them a little taller, a little shorter. Okay, so there's our flowers, and I used Old Olive for that. And now I'm going to get a white gel pen out here, and we're going to make these flowers pop a bit. I'm just going to kind of color over them a bit with a white gel pen. I'm not really coloring them, I'm just kind of making lines over the flowers. Little scribbles. I'm even leaving some of that green showing, which is fine. And see how your eye, even though they're just, I'm scribbling on there, you can still, your eye will tell you those are flowers. There we go. And they're done. Just that quick. Okay, on my original card, I edged this in real red, and I wasn't real happy with that. I think I'd much prefer just the red panel behind this project. So I have a real red panel that is 3 5/8 square. It's just 1/4 of an inch larger than our main panel. I just think that looks a little cleaner than edging that in real red. But if you like that look, you just go for it. I just used a blending brush and kind of went around the edges of it for my original card. I just think this looks a little cleaner for this project. Got a little wild with the glue there. Okay, so there is our main panel. I am going to add just a little highlight around the roof of this house, like where the gutters would be. And that makes your house pop a little more. So that is all done. So I'm going to set that aside. And then I have the heart, one of the hearts from the Heart Punch pack. And I punched this out of Mango Melody cardstock. And then I just want to put some color on it. So I'm going to grab that pumpkin pie ink. And I'm going to blend that pumpkin pie around the edges here. I'm using a circular motion for this, and I'm leaving the center light. And that gives you some dimension on that heart. Makes it kind of look rounded. There we go. And then I'm going to take the real red and a blending brush. It's going to add a little bit of that real red along the edge of this heart. That gives you a three-colored toned heart. There we go. All right, and then I just want some ribbon on my little heart here. I'm just going to take a piece of ribbon and I'm going to lay it across it. This is on a diagonal. So I'm going to put it on a diagonal here, and I'm just going to flip it over. And then I'm going to adhere the ends to the back of the heart using mini glue dots. You just press that ribbon into that dot well. These are amazingly sticky. There we go. So there's our ribbon on there, and then I wanted to just have another piece that ties on the front. So I just cut another piece of that white ribbon. I'm going to slide it underneath the one we already have on there. I'm going to tie it in a knot. There we go. And I'm tying it in a knot so that it lays correctly. So I tied it once, tied it again. And that way it lays kind of like a bow. And then I'm going to cut the ends. There we go. And there is our little heart to go on our card. All right, now we're ready to start putting things together. I have a real red card base here, and it's 5.5 by 8.5, and when I fold it in half, it's a 1/4 card. On the outside, I have a Parakeet Party Designer Series paper that I cut to 4 by 5.25, and then I have a 1 inch by 5.5 inch basic white strip that I put on here. So that's the front, and then inside I have a Parakeet Party panel that's 4 by 5.25, and then I had a little bit of this paper left because it's 6 by 6, and when you cut it you have more of just a strip of this left, and so I cut this strip to 1 inch by 5.25, and I just added it to the inside. No sense in throwing that nice designer series paper strip away, right, when we can use it for this card. So I'm just going to adhere my main panel to the front of this card. And I have it down towards the bottom a bit. I don't have it centered because we need room for our heart up here. And then I'm going to take this heart and I'm going to add Stampin' Dimensionals to it. We'll add 3 dimensionals. Okay, here we go, and then I'm just going to add this to the top of the card. And there you have it. There's today's housewarming card. I hope you enjoyed this project and that you give it a try. Thanks for joining me. Take care. Bye.